Hi guys, good morning. You're God's highest form of creation, and it's natural for your identity to be doing well in all areas of your life. If you're having a gift, someone is ready to receive that gift. So if you feel pulled to write, write. If you feel pulled to speak, speak. If you feel pulled to make paintings, paint. The highest form of creation isn't stupid to put seed inside you that is not ready to become beautiful result. Gift is your seed, so my gift is my voice. Someone can't maybe understand who is at the beginning of inner work journey exactly what I'm talking about at the beginning, but he can feel the resonance in heart, and that's enough. So he can be pulled uh, towards my voice. He can deeply in that sacred inner stillness place understand, even though he can't mentally grasp maybe everything yet. So especially today, when most people are bamboozled with all kinds of attacks from the outer world, being stuck in mental masturbation is common thing, because it's easier to be distracted with something that's, I don't know, superficial than to be open and ready to put time aside and effort to dig a little deeper. So, as I said, if God, for me and my personal belief, God, because I was blessed to feel glimpses of His presence while I was going through my for years long sickness, while I was experiencing my two near-death experiences, while I was in my intensive care room. And that's something that gives me passion to be here and to help people to reconnect with inner peace, inner stillness. Why? For example, I watched many people exit this realm while I was dealing with my personal challenges. But let's say this particular woman, I mentioned that story briefly, but she had only, I don't know, 27 or 8 years, and while I was in intensive care, she was brought unconscious completely. She was just breathing, because that was second time of her committing suicide. So I think that she swallowed some medications, or I don't know. How I heard about that story during the time I spent there. She had a little girl at home. I think that her child that she left behind is only 2 years old. So just watching her parents, because in intensive care nobody except the doctors and nurses can't have access to us. And there is a big glass wall. Her parents, that was very painful to witness, were standing there at the other side of the glass and watching her laying down in bed, literally on her way out of this world. The look in their eyes is something I'll never forget, because uh, I could feel, because I am empath and I'm from the early childhood someone who can easy tune in to the environment and literally read the room. Uh, that expanded even more, and it is expanding more and more the older I get, but I could literally feel their sorrow, regret, guilt, shame, blaming themselves, and so on and so forth. Uh, the night before she died, I literally felt the presence of her spirit. And I even saw the shadow. I thought that I wasn't sure was that, or if that wasn't spirit, but the morning after, me sensing the presence of her spirit, guide or God or the power that made her, but the morning after, me witnessing that, and when she died, I was completely and 100% sure that that was God or her guide, higher power, being ready to take her over. I remember that people were rushing into room trying to uh, do that uh, exercises. How that's called, I'm not sure. I don't want to say something that's not, but you know, when people are trying to bring back a person into life, and uh, they later brought something that made me incapable to watch, because yes, it was very sad to watch one young woman leave this earth, because she couldn't find a way to deal with whatever was making her feel that this existence isn't worth of fighting for. But trust me, it is. On the other hand, you have, I read, I'm trying to avoid, and I'm somebody who is not watching mass media. I don't watch TV. I don't read things that are keeping us stuck in fear, trying to keep us stuck in fear. And for the most people, that's successful. But I figured out that I must take very good care about my mental hygiene. So, but I'm part of this world, and some things are simply impossible to avoid. If I want to come and watch something that's beneficial for me, and the big letters, she was killed, blah 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 blah, and you almost subconsciously perceive it. A few days ago, I think, that young woman lost her life. She was only 32, because her ex-boyfriend didn't want to accept that she wanted to leave him. So these kind of stories, and you have here one woman, young woman, who left this realm. She knows why, and you have the other. I mean, these things are happening all day, every day. But just to make, not comparing, but higher picture of the situation, I think that the second one would give everything to still be here, but it wasn't in her power, so to say. Was that destiny or fate? I'm not sure, but mental health is the most important, of course, like physical, emotional, And if you are not in unity consciousness, meaning that your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are in alignment, you will always have that unpleasant feeling that something's missing. In essence, nothing is missing. You just have to master more your power to down-regulate yourself. Many times we are most triggered by close family members, by our spouses, by our children, because as I read in one book, our children are not our children, where the woman who survived a hard car crash and was in coma saw vividly, because the doctors told her that she will never be mother. She, during her period of being in coma, vividly saw the girl that was coming to her, and later she gave birth to that girl. So she wrote the book Our Children Are Not Our Children, and I believe that every woman is so powerful because she is the only creature that has portal between two realms and can channel life into this earth, but just channel. From the moment that they come here, our children are not our children, the world takes them over. We are just like caregivers, and someone who, the sooner every parent accepts that, the easier becomes. And I think that every soul sees contract before comes into the physical world, and despite of the challenges, of all the challenges, signs up, yes, I'm ready for this. So don't be so hard on those who are giving you hard times, because always have in the back of your mind awareness that you signed up for them. Why? For the sake of your soul's growth. Whatever we envy in others or don't like in others, we have inside, and we are ignoring or we are neglecting that. And also whatever we admire and love in others, we also have, but we wish to have more of that in us. So pay attention to the signs and to the synchronicities. Synchronicities are bridge between mind and matter. For every person, that's very personal, and there's a whole story behind the synchronicities. Follow that. As I said, if the gift has been given to you, use it. That just means that people are ready to receive it. Do your best to down-regulate yourself. Everything will flow much more smoothly in your journey. That inner stillness and inner peace is a holy place in your heart, in your soul. Most people are stressed because, as I said, stress is being here and wanting to be there, first of all, not making peace with what is. Second, constant rush, being in a fight or flight, feeling that pressure that cause many people to end their existence, unbearable pressure. I know I've been there, I've done that, and I had to relearn and rewrite and brainwash myself. So what is that? That's just you being disconnected from the eternal. When you always can bring yourself back into the awareness that you are eternal, first of all, you are just, not just, you are soul and spirit having temporary physical experience. So you are eternal in essence. And when you are aware that you are eternal in essence, you are no longer in rush and feeling like you are behind, like you are not going to be able to finish all that you wrote down that you should be finished, is cause of all that unpleasant feelings. And I know how that is, being burned out, wanting to do more, being disconnected from the soul, from the essence. And the more you rush, the more it seems like you will never do what you planned. So it's like, let's say, you have a train travel, but you meet your friend and you are talking to your friend, but you are thinking, I might get late to my train later. No, you will not. You are just being present at this moment while you're speaking with your friend. That doesn't mean that you will miss your train. And even if you do, the other will come. So observe the things that you didn't finish and you wanted as a blessing in disguise. That just means that they weren't meant to be finished now. Leave them for tomorrow. Maybe they'll resolve in even smoother and better and easier way for you than if they were done today. That's the blessing that being connected with the soul, the source, the eternal, and seeing yourself as the eternal power of all creation will give you peace, faith, trust, understanding, being aware that every obstacle is a blessing in disguise, being aware that if something is delayed, that doesn't mean that you are stupid, cursed, something's wrong with you. No, that just means that that's a form of protection. Many people have their own experience, let's say, for missing the plane or train, or I don't know, delaying their trip, and later on, let's say that plane crashed. I mean, you know, all kinds of crazy stories. But what saved those people, saved them their capacity to be still enough and connected with the peace inside, so that they can recognize the voice or that intuitive hunch, what should be done, even if the mind says something opposite. And that's why doing everything you can to put yourself in a heart-brain coherence is so important, because I think the Rumi said that whenever in doubt, follow your heart. Your heart knows the way. Mind is for most people conditioned, and it will come with all kinds of why not, instead of confirmations why something must and should be done. So the story of the young woman from the intensive care is one of the reasons why I will continue to help people soothe their pain, because if my story, which is something that can be beneficial to people who are maybe dealing with things that they think will never be resolved, if that helped even one soul to don't go to that downstream dark side, I'll be the happiest person in the world. So everything, that's why I say learn more, pay attention to synchronicities. One of my synchronicities, I always now recognize them, and I don't even need signs or synchronicities, because I'm the biggest and greatest sign of God's goodwill, and I am proof and sign that nothing is impossible, because I saw that and I came back. I faced the greatest fear that people have, and that's the fear of death. But even that is illusion, because why? As long as we are here, we are like a jar. So you are squeezed in a jar. Your spirit, your awareness, your consciousness, especially if your consciousness hasn't leveled up yet, you are like part of the eternity squeezed into a jar. But when the time is for us to go back to the source, it feels like when jar breaks, you become again what you were squeezed into when you came here into the journey. Trust me, I've been there. I know that. I've experienced it firsthand. Because, as I said, at the moment of facing my own death, I didn't cry. I didn't feel sorry for myself. I wasn't in panic. The feeling was something that was scary for me at that moment, that was slightly peace that surpasses my understanding. It was literally like I'm going back home from vacation. And that's why I was even before that experience drawn to unseen through my favorite book is Alchemist, How You Become Alchemist, by literally being aware of signs and synchronicities and knowing how to connect the dots. At the moment I was second time getting out of the hospital, I saw everywhere number 7. It was crazy. It was on that list which I got to go out. It was the number of my room. Later in billboards, in traffic, on taxi cabs. I mean, in that day before the 12 p.m., I saw, it was unbelievable. I think about 20 number 7. So, and when I search for the meaning of sevens, it's lifelong learner. So I was always pulled to learn, to understand, to transform, and to become the alchemist, which I ultimately am, because whatever you assign after I am, you become. People say that life is meaningless, and that's awesome. Yes, life is meaningless, meaning it will take any shape or form that you give to it. You giving a life meaning that it's worthless, that is too hard, that there is never enough, that is pointless, lack, scarcity, abandonment, betrayal. That's the meaning you will get. But when you flip the coin and give life other meaning, joy, curiosity, learning, connection, being aware of your breath, always deep down knowing that everything is always working out for you. Everything is always working out for you, especially when it seems like nothing is. That's when God and life are putting pieces in together for your beautiful journey. I like that saying, God will put you back in front of those who tried to broke you into pieces. And that's the ultimate truth. As long as you are on this journey, you are always safe, guided, protected. I will, as long as I breathe, continue to repeat, you are God's highest form of creation, and it's natural for your identity to be doing well in all areas of your life. If something's missing, you just have to examine your beliefs about the topic. There is nothing humble in feeling on or trying. I think that Hemingway said, there's nothing humble in feeling or trying to be superior over others. The only superiority you should seek for is to be superior than your previous self. And that's the ultimate truth. People often say, many times I was walked over, I was used, people to whom I gave too much didn't give me back. If you're giving from having a background of what will I get in return, that's the wrong approach. But if you're giving from the place of abundance, trust me, the universe and God will find, and life will find, thousands and hundreds and millions of sources to bring beyond your imagination and to multiply your big heart and your pure intentions, because no one can play games with the power so great that in every now holds all of this creation in perfect harmony. And there we are with our little egos thinking that we can pull the game how we think it should be. No, that's impossible. And as soon as you realize that is impossible, you will feel lighter, you will be in a state of freedom, you will always know that you're guided, protected, safe, that 10,000s of souls of your ancestors are always in spirit with you. Their power and their strength is what should be boosting your confidence wherever you are, because confidence is very important. If you're not confident, all your skills and all your knowledge will eventually turn out useless because you will play too small. But when you are confident, not in that cocky feeling superior to others way, but in that core, in that essence, powered by 10,000 souls of your ancestors. Reconnect to this true power. Forget about agency powers. What can I get? What am I driving? My mansions, my bank accounts, that can be in instant gone. And what happens to those kinds of people? Their lives are usually gone because they were attached to identity, to false story, to false power. But when you are connected to the real power, everything is like a smooth river. I also admire very much here that guy Quasi Yohir. He has awesome videos, and I loved his recent story about him buying his dream car, awesome car. But the story behind is even better. How he was a college dropout. I think that he's even immigrant. He fulfilled his parents' passion to become an engineer, but he was at the job that he felt drained and awful at, so he started his journey in being a creator, and he had for a long time desire to have that dream car. He just said that he wanted red, but it turned out that he bought blue. And how he beautifully explains that inner conflict between coming from that background, thinking that it's too much for that, but also how he finally decided I'm at the place when I can afford it and I'm worthy of it, and how that feels awesome when he has good clothes, good watches, how that simply boosts not your overall picture of yourself, but it's nice when you uh, feel worthy of nice things. We all do. But unfortunately, many people, even those who are living it, aren't feeling worthy. And that's why you have the crazy thing with plastic surgeries and so on and so forth. People deep down at their core and essence feel unworthy, and that's why they're doing those kinds of things. What was even more mind-blowing, that's why I said everything is synchronicity for me, that video of Quasi and story about car, and he saying that he's at his point now when he has no goals. For a while I thought that something's wrong with me, because I don't have goals also. I allow life to work through me, and simply to my part is always done, following the breadcrumbs from the universe, and that's following synchronicities. He says that every day for him feels like a dark room, and that he is training himself how to down-regulate that anxious feelings that are coming with being uncertain every day. So that was for me confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. Why? When everything is certain, there's no growth there. Life never cares about our comfort zone, it always cares about our expansion. And expansion is impossible without you being challenged. To think in a different way, to do different things, and to witness different results. Because, as Einstein said, the definition of madness is doing all day, every day, things in the same way and expecting different results. So if you are pulled out of your comfort zone, don't see it as a punishment. That's your redirection for your soul's expansions and for you finally becoming the highest version of yourself. I hope this was helpful, and once again, you are God's highest form of creation, and it's natural for your identity to be doing well in all areas of your life. If something is missing, that just means that there is some block that must be addressed and released at that topic. Whenever you feel icky, stuck, or in fight or flight, this might be helpful. God, I release the lower mind. I silence every lie of fear, lack, doubt, and separation. Let this mind be in me, the mind that walked on water, the mind that moved mountains and storms, the mind that saw from above, the mind that spoke with heaven's voice. I thank you that the portal has already opened within me. Let the heavens flood my thoughts. Let peace guide my steps. Let divine direction decide my Let this divine clarity decide my direction. I'm no longer begging, I'm co-creating. This is the mind of Christ and I receive it now. Try it. I'll repeat that once again. God, I release the lower mind. I silence every lie of fear, lack, doubt, and separation. Let this mind be in me, the mind that walked on water, the mind that moved mountains and storms, the mind that spoke with heaven's voice. I tune in now. I align with divine frequency. I see from above. I speak with authority. I thank you that the portal has already opened within me. Let the heavens flood my thoughts. Let peace guide my steps. Let divine clarity decide my direction. I'm no longer begging, I'm co-creating. This is the mind of Christ and I receive it now. Hope that helps and talk to you soon.